Hey kids! Today we're learning about volume and capacity. Now, these two words may seem scary at first, but trust me, by the end of this video, you guys will know it like the back of your hands. Hey, what's that? Volume! No, I'm not talking about noise level volume, you know, the one that the teachers always complain about. I'm talking about volume, as in how much space is taken up by an object. For instance, if I were to pour a drink, the volume of juice would increase the more I poured. The more volume of juice, the better, obviously. But have you ever been disappointed when your mum or your dad or someone you love pours you a drink of juice and they only fill it halfway up? Like, come on, what's with that? You know you can fit more juice into that little cup. And that, my friends, is capacity. Capacity is the measure of how much an object, like this cup, can hold. I might tip more and more liquid into this cup, but no matter how much I pour, the cup can only hold so much before the volume has reached maximum capacity. Just to make sure we're on the same page, let's run through a few things. Check it out! All these cups are identical. That means they're exactly the same. So, if they're the same, that means they can hold the same amount of water. Wow! They can hold the exact same amount of water. Their capacity is the same. Let me shake things up a little. What if I filled one full, one half full, and one was empty? Would their capacity still be the same? Of course it is. They can still hold the same amount of water. But the amount of water that's currently in them, the volume of water, is different. We can compare volume using language such as full, half full, empty. We can use this kind of language when comparing volume in the identical glasses. But what about when the glasses aren't identical? If I want to have the cup with the most drink, which one should I choose? I can compare them using language such as full or half full, right? But they're not identical. See how this one is identical? Now you can compare them. Oh, now I see. This one was only half full, but even though it was only half full, it still contained more than this full cup. And check out these groovy things. They're all different heights, widths, shapes, and yet they all hold the same capacity. Don't believe me? Just watch. Pretty cool, hey? What? How am I supposed to compare the volume and capacity of all these containers when they're so different? Well, that, my friends, is where formal units of measurement come in. This, my friends, is a milliliter. Quite small, isn't it? We use this unit to measure small amounts of liquid. Check it out. For instance, if I wanted to know how much was in my can of soft drink, I'd simply look at the bottom and it'd tell me 375 milliliters. This is 1 liter. It is the equivalent, so it is the same as having 1,000 of these. Let's compare. How are we going to compare them? They've got units of measurement on them. Would you look at that? Cool. So, we know that they can all hold the same capacity of liquid. They're all 1.25 litres. Let's recap on what we've learned. We have learnt that volume is how much space is taken up by an object. Capacity is the measure of how much an object can hold. It can be difficult to compare containers when they're all different shapes and sizes. Units such as milliliters and litres can help us compare amounts of liquids. Wow, what fun! Next time someone goes to pour you a glass of yummy drink, avoid this half-filled business and tell them to fill it to capacity. Now you're talking.